Aloha!
Aloha!
I am Tristas Laksmi-Ditton.
And I'm Michael Ditton.
And we are Infinite
Activation.
Coming to you today from...
Well, not so sunny Southern California, but still a wonderful place to be.
Yeah. And today we would like to talk about the importance of self-care. In the beginning of the year, we may get maybe even like busier than maybe usually. And that's oftentimes the situation where we may start to scoop all of the stuff which is all about self-care to the end of the list.
Yeah, I'll do it later, or there's always tomorrow, but you need to make sure you take care of yourself so that you can get through each and every day with as much as you have.
So today would like to share two stories. Michael will share one story how one of the times when you had 5 companies, how it was really hard to take care of yourself, and then how it ended, what you changed. And then I will come with one story too.
Okay.
And then what others get do to keep it up.
Yeah. Yeah. And, it's not just having, 5 companies. Way back when I did have 5 companies, I was doing that, 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I was young and excited and energized, and I had fun and I enjoyed it. And I thought, well, I can sleep less because it doesn't bother me or what have you. But realistically, I wasn't as productive, even though I was productive. I wasn't as productive as I possibly could have been because I didn't have the ample amount of sleep. And I was kind of like burning the candle at both ends. And
can you tell how long your days were and how many days per week did you work?
How many
hours?
I did.
All the days, all the hours?
I did.
How much?
7 days a week, 18 hours a day, darn near. Yeah. Yeah. So, I did that for a long period of time. And when you're younger, you can get away with it more. As we grow a little bit more mature, a little bit less, I certainly feel it more when I work longer days now. But
so what did you do when you had to change something? At some point you started to get also health issues.
Yeah, what happened was it became a real eye-opener one day when I was preparing to go sailing in that. So I saw the light at the end of the tunnel. I was going to take time for myself. And it's not that I didn't do vacations and enjoy and what have you, but I kept really, really busy. And one day, in the midst of all of it, I woke up. I went to the shop. I opened the shop. I was getting prepared to open, actually, and I had what was like a heart attack. I felt horrible. I felt like I was going to pass out. My heart was pounding, and I managed to pull through that. And I actually got in trouble because later that day, I got through it. I opened the shop. I conducted business. I went home and I told on myself, which was not a good thing because I got in a lot of trouble for not going to the hospital immediately, not only by my loved one at the time, but when I got to the emergency room or urgent care, the doctor gave me a hard time too. They said, you should have come in because it could have been a heart attack. It turns out it was more anxiety related than anything else. But it made me more aware at that time that I really needed to take care of myself in order to do the things I need to make sure that I'm here each and every day to take care of the loved ones around me, to continue to serve and do the things I wanted to. And I saw, like I said, the light at the end of the tunnel. I said, well, I'm going to be taking off and I'm going to be sailing. I got plenty of time to relax later. It's the old saying, I got plenty of time to sleep when I'm dead. Well, we just don't want to make that any sooner than we have to. So realizing that, I started to, even before I left, I started to do things a little differently to take better care of myself, to make sure that I was here tomorrow. I wanted to make sure that I was able to go out and enjoy life and do the things I wanted. This happened probably in 2004-ish. And a lot of wonderful things have happened since 2004. And had I had a heart attack and maybe not gotten through it, I would have missed all these things. So
we wouldn't have this.
We wouldn't be having this conversation right now. So aloha, Gary.
Yay, aloha.
So taking care of yourself is key, and it's not just for your health. It's so that you can be more productive.
And also serve others and
Yeah.
do the things you are here to do, the gift,
Aloha, Barrett.
Yeah, so is that all for now from your story? Or
Sure, unless
can I share?
you could think of something I'm missing.
Yeah, but not at the moment.
Okay.
We'll see. So
The boss says I'm good.
Yeah. In my case, it was 2008, I think. I was in Estonia, and at the time I worked, my day started like 6 a.m. and sometimes I finished like 12 and 2 o'clock with my clients. I had no breaks. I almost didn't eat. I didn't train. I slept very little. And I basically had no social life. I had no boyfriend at the time. So everything was circling around job and work. And one evening I fell down on the living room floor, and I had this terrible pain inside of my stomach, and it was so bad I couldn't move. And I thought first like, oh, I haven't eaten today, so maybe my stomach is like really hungry. And it's like,
it probably was.
Yeah, you need to eat, So, but after some time, it didn't really pass, so I wasn't sure. So luckily I had my phone nearby, so I called to one of my friends and asked like what her opinion was. And so we talked, and then I was like, oh, maybe I should just order some pizza or something. So I kind of check out if that's the case. And I got some food, but it still was kind of, the pain was less, but it was still there. And later when I meditated, I realized that my inner woman was basically kind of, putting the brakes down and saying, hey, Krista, this is not okay. You're not taking care of you. And if you continue like this, you will be dead soon, and then you can't take care of anyone anymore. So basically, because the pain really didn't like disappear, I started to really, I luckily didn't have more clients that day, but I rearranged my whole schedule. I put in regular training. I stopped working like 8 p.m. So which meant that I didn't take any more clients from like that time. I actually didn't answer any phone since like 8 p.m. So which was like a huge thing for me too, for clients and stuff. So and also I started to do some social stuff, going out to the cinema and meeting friends and spending more time with my son, and actually kind of realized that there is more to life than just work.
Absolutely.
And that also starting to actually cook and make some food. And also sleep at least 6 hours per night. It was my beginning, like six hours per night. So which was a huge thing. My regular was 4 to 5 hours or even less, you know.
And you might be able to sustain for a while with that, but it'll catch up with you.
Yeah, and then nowadays we have, these really cool watches, which actually tell you if you have, really high stress and your heart is like, overworking.
Or if you've been sitting too long.
Yeah, exactly. So, but then we didn't. So we had no idea what was going on. So just, heart attack came, and then you're like, okay, now I'm in trouble.
Wake up call.
Yeah.
And
just to finish this up, so as I changed that, then of course the quality of my life changed, and also I could start to take better care of my clients as well, because I was really fully there, and of course they noticed, and then my son noticed, and I even started to, go for holidays, like for a week or like 2 weeks, which was like unheard of. So things like that. And then I realized that I have to incorporate those things into my life regularly. It's not just like a, seasonal thing,
It needs to become a habit, a good habit.
It's like a lifestyle. This is how you take care of yourself. They have this saying that a person who is sick has only one wish. You know what that wish is?
What, not to be sick?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That person doesn't have any other wishes.
Yeah.
And any other wishes wouldn't even, do good. So And sometimes it's also, you may have all the money in the world, but you can't, help yourself because you're sick or there is no solution to it. So,
or you're spending all your money on trying to get healthy instead of enjoying.
Yeah. And oftentimes also one of the things I've noticed, which has been, kind of like a norm, that we work so crazy until, we get retired. And then when we get retired, we have no body and no, none of us is really actually there anymore because we have just so crucially, just overridden our body. There is not much to enjoy anymore because you just have to work with all this time and money to fix yourself and your body and mind. So that's why we were really smart. We had lots of travels and trips and stuff as still young and healthy.
Oh, yeah.
So now we are getting back to more like work, but still kind of keeping in mind how important it is to have that self-care as one of the highest priorities.
Yeah, so I've incorporated into my daily routine, a bedtime, a wake-up time, exercise or walk time or stretch time, proper meal plans. And it doesn't mean you have to be on a diet, but you have to pay attention to what you eat. I mean, garbage in, garbage out. But if you take better care of yourself, you're going to feel better. I don't have the fancy watch she does. So on my phone, I actually when I sit down and start working, I set my timer for 50 minutes. And so I do the 50-10 rule, which we've learned through some of the big successful people out there who say that this is very important. Sure, you can power through 3 or 4 hours, but if you take 10 minutes every single hour, you're going to feel better at the end of that 3 or 4 hours. Therefore, if you need to go more, you can, or just it's a better quality of life if you haven't depleted yourself completely. And the same goes for sleep. I mean, we really try to get out 8 hours of sleep. It's important for us. Sometimes we're successful, sometimes we're not. But if we have a good night's sleep, we can, especially when we're incorporating everything else, at the end of the day, feel better after powering through a whole day, as long as we're taking care of ourselves, mentally, physically, with food and breaks and rest and everything else. Once you start cutting into one or cutting into the other, cutting into all of them, you're going to feel it. If not later that day, it will catch up with you.
Mm-hmm. So a question for you guys there is how our situation and things with your self-care, what is it you need to change, maybe a lot and maybe a little bit, and can you see how this will make a difference in the quality of your life for yourself and others?
Yeah.
Like one of the things we started to do just recently was to basically take at least one day a week off where we don't work.
Yeah.
So sometimes also,
we've been failing miserable at it too, by the way.
But
we're going to keep working at it.
Yeah, so it's at least we have a task, and then that you have to unplug. Especially when you have your own company, there is never-ending task list you have to go through. And also, what's really cool when we have a partner in our lives, we can also be each other's accountability partners.
Mm-hmm.
So there are days where maybe I don't feel very active, and then Michael kind of, kicks me out. There's okay, let's have a walk. Or there is days where you don't feel very active. So it's good to kind of inspire and kind of, get another one along and do something and keep things on track. And then also we share with each other's task lists and stuff. And Michael especially has helped me a lot with, how to prioritize and how to figure things out when things get really overwhelming. Because sometimes I'm a person who is saying yes to everything and everyone. Mm-hmm. And then I'm just oh, I shouldn't have done that. And then things are kind of out of balance.
Yeah, and I have to remind her of that from time to time and shut down at the end of the day. Going back to having a partner, whether you have a partner or not, if you have a good plan, for example, we do a lot of walking, morning and or at night, and we normally walk together at night quite often, almost every single night. When I'm done at the end of the day and it's time to prepare dinner, get ready for evening meal, get ready for the night routine that we have and everything else, there's a lot of days where I actually just don't feel like going for a walk. I mean, I'm exhausted. I've spent all my energy, whether I've taken care of myself or not. I give 110% or more all day. I will tell you, 99% of the time, I make myself go on a walk that evening with Crystal. The reason I do that is because I know I'm going to feel better after that walk. I'm out, I'm moving, I'm getting fresh air, I'm looking at beautiful sunsets, I'm with my loved ones, spending quality time together where we're not sitting in front of a computer or doing something else. So, you know, those things may seem trivial, but they're so, so important. So, you know, like I said, and you know, I don't know how the odds are, you know, how often I have to force myself to do it, but I'm grateful whenever I feel that depleted that I do force myself to do it.
Mm. I have a joke that, you know, others go and walk their dogs, and I call Michael my polar bear. So I go and walk my polar bear.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. And
I got a cool leash too.
Yeah. Which one is that? And also Michael is so warm, like when you just like when I touch him, like he's like, I don't know what's inside and what's generating that heat. Like today also I told him, like, I don't know, you are really like my human radiator, like I'm cold all the time, and he's just like, you know, with the t-shirt. So really cool.
Polar bear.
Today you have a very special shirt too.
Sarma. Yeah, this is Estonia, a little island off of Estonia, one of several thousand, and we spent some quality time there, not last year, but the year before. Beautiful, beautiful place, lots of wonderful things to go see and do, and I'm looking forward to going back.
Yeah, beautiful people too.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So this is a little kind of reminder to all of you, and you know, check in, what can you do differently to make this 2020 a little better self-care year. And it's the best time of the year to do that. And also, you know, maybe even, you know, make some schedule or plan so that you kind of keep up with that. And in a previous video also, I actually recommended people to have like a self-love calendar, where you put also stuff in which you do to take care of yourself, some treats and things. And then by the end of the year, you look back and you're like, oh my God, I took really good care of me, you know. And there are so many other ways you can do it, like not only training and eating and all of those things, but also, you know, just that little habit of putting 10% of the income, what you get, you know, coming in every month into your savings account. So also a really nice way to take care of yourself.
Yep. Yep.
So there are lots of tips and tools, but figure out what works for you and make it work, make it a habit and also a lifestyle, so that it can take care of you and you can take better care of others in your life.
Yep. That's a good plan to have.
Yeah. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next week our live will be on a different time because Michael will have a little training.
Yeah, I've got a 3-day real estate seminar coming up that I'm going to be participating in, so I won't be available on Thursday.
Yeah, but we will figure out something.
We'll let you know.
Some other amazing tips and tools coming on your way. And please connect with us, share this video with as many you feel this would be relevant to, especially if you could share it on your Facebook timeline. That's the best always. And also put the like, and let us also know if there are any topics you would really like us to talk about. If you have questions, any other, you know, issues, let us know. We are so glad to be here to serve you and make our lives better and yours as well.
Absolutely.
With lots of aloha from San Diego.
Yeah. Mahalo.
Mahalo.